I would hate for my husband to just literally look at me and think if I'm a stay-at-home mom that I just don't do shit all day. You're probably doing more laborious tasks than me, but as your partner, it would be so disrespectful to think that...
To tell the truth?
Lazy.
Let's assume for a second I'm a bricklayer, and I go out and I do this hard, awful, horrible job. And I started with no skills when I was doing it. It took me 6 years in order to just figure out how to start laying the brick, okay? Because that's what it takes as a mason. And then after that, I'm wrecking my body every single day, working 12 hours a day, lifting some of the heaviest stuff you can imagine for 12 hours straight. And I come home and you're like, well, it's pretty disrespectful to me. It's pretty disrespectful to me that you think I don't bust my ass the same way you do.
I'm just saying it's disrespectful if your husband came home and looked at you building a whole home for him, taking care of his kids, pushing his kids
built
out,
the whole home for
and
you.
said...
Ouch.
So we have the age old who works harder, the husband or the wife.
Oh boy.
The issue I have with this is that we keep on trying to devalue one another's worth and what we both bring to the table. Yes, the example that he gave, although not most men necessarily do that work where they're lifting heavy things for 12 hours straight or whatever it was that he said. What you are doing is labor intensive physical work. Yes, that is hard work. Yep. Don't discount or discredit the work that your wife is doing and saying, well, he didn't say it wasn't important, but I do hear a lot of people say, oh, well,
what you do at the house ain't nothing in comparison to what I do out in the streets.
Basically, or not in the streets, but what I do for work.
It ain't nothing like what we do out here in the streets.
No.
We'll be stroking.
I be stroking.
I'm sorry. He's all right.
No, it's like, it's disrespectful. And I understand what the young lady is trying to say. Just because it's not the same, the women are not necessarily doing something that's labor intensive as far as like maybe heavy lifting and things of that nature, it doesn't mean that the work that she is doing at home is not hard work, because raising well-rounded little human beings is a lot of hard work. Yes. And if you're talking about wear and tear on the body, that's wear and tear on the body for everyone. Yes, the work that you're doing, you're going to be getting a lot more wear and tear because that's physical labor. But it's not like women don't go through wear and tear.
Yeah, that's true.
I wish there was some type of study or analysis or something like that would show the trauma or maybe the years of work that goes into carrying a child and delivering them, like what that would equivalent to.
Yikes.
I don't know. All I know is I remember how like so much stuff changed. Like when you had a kid, like children literally suck the life out of women.
Like there's
literally,
so much that happens to a woman's body just by having one kid.
Let me get one.
We ain't talking about people that have a whole bunch of kids. We're talking about just one kid.
One out of ribs. No. One rib.
Yeah.
So it's disrespectful to me for any guy to sit there and be like,
oh, well, because I'm out here working and I have labor intensive work, I'm basically doing everything and you're doing nothing.
Don't do that, y'all. Like,
don't do it. Just don't do it.
Why are we doing that? The work that you're doing is important, yes, because you're out there doing work. You're bringing home the bacon, quote unquote, for your family. Those of you who eat bacon.
Okay.
You're bringing the funds in for your family so that way they can have a roof over your head. But then when I think she made the comment about her building a home basically for him, and he's like, no, I built the home.
What? Come on now, dog.
Because men
do more
typically,
labor intensive.
It's not even more. Men tend to do all of the labor intensive jobs in America are like 98-99% men. Yep. So I understand where he's coming from. Mm-hmm. No, bricklayers are not all men, but we heard our nephew give us the story about working at UPS.
No, it was terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it was really bad.
People who work for Amazon, it's the same situation.
Yeah.
And then you got people who are construction workers and stuff. So the men do most labor intensive work. But I want you to get your point before I jump in anymore. So
I'm just saying it's disrespectful if your husband came home and looked at you building a whole home for him, taking care of his kids, pushing his kids out, and said,
oh, he built a whole home for you.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't do that.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do that. No. I disagree.
I disagree.
Especially in today's day and age, because I don't know too many people where the wife stays at home and takes care of the kids.
She just stole one of my points.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think I only know one, actually.
The wife stays home?
Yes. Yeah. I think we only know one.
Yep.
Okay.
Where the wife stays home and takes care of the children and the husband is the only one that works. Mm-hmm. both work. So there's that. But she's also doing her motherly duties, nurturing, taking care of the children, raising productive members of society, helping to develop them so that they can go out into the workforce and do what it is that they have to do while they still have to work. He said, I built the home. No, you didn't do it by yourself because you didn't have your kids by yourself. And if the wife is also working, she is contributing to your household. So it's not just you. I don't understand why we have to continue to be like, I'm the man, I'm the prize, or I've done this and I've built the home, this, that, and the third, like, oh, me, my, when it's not like that, especially like now and today's day and age. So I don't understand why we would have a lot of that on the podcast and things of that nature that we're seeing today. Maybe years ago that was the case, but they're talking that way as though that's what's happening now, unless they're speaking specifically about the high value men or men who make a certain amount of money where they can afford for their wife to stay home and take care of the kids.
Okay.
But even still, my thing is, don't discredit that. Excuse me. And the woman, her body goes through havoc by pushing out your children. I don't know how many years she may lose off of her life or how much trauma goes through her body, but her body gets damaged by having children. Just like you being out there working, your body gets damaged. So it's damage on both ends.
Yep. Like I think we just watched yesterday a woman say that marriage is a sham for women because women are getting taken advantage of because they do this, they do the housework and they do this and they do that. Even if you work multiple jobs, you're sitting at an office all day, then you come home and you are going to be doing housework. Whereas my 12 hours doing what I'm doing is much more labor intensive than what you're doing anyway.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the context of the video. I think that's what was happening. He was possibly giving her a rebuttal based on the way that it was set up. So my take, all right, because me and my wife, we different people. My take is pretty much what my wife said. So the only thing is I'm coming from the guy side instead of the girl side. And I'm saying sort of how dare women, to his point, try to belittle men working because they stay at home and they do all of this extra stuff. Let me tell y'all something. If your man does a labor intensive job, just close your mouth.
Whoa!
Wow.
Just close your mouth.
Damn!
It's okay to be a man.
It's not okay. It's necessary. What the hell are we going to do without men? You look around the city here, you see all these buildings go up. These men, they're doing impossible things. They're under the streets, working on the sewers. They're up on the power lines in the storms and the rain. They're keeping this impossible infrastructure functioning, this thing that works in a miraculous manner. They work themselves to death. And often, literally, the gratitude for that is sorely lacking, especially among the people who should be most grateful. You see university professors, especially of the social justice bent, they take everything they have for granted, failing to understand entirely that there's a massive infrastructure of unbelievably hardworking, solidly laboring, working-class men breaking themselves in half on a regular basis, making sure that everything that always breaks works.
I wasn't even doing bricklaying or construction work or electrical work or sewer work or working at the power plant. And I'm naming things that are very, very hard labor intensive jobs. I was working with my father, who owned his own business as a janitorial service for a major pharmaceutical company. So I was doing janitorial, but bumped up to a different level because we were cleaning out warehouses and the places where they make all the penicillin products that y'all take in and stuff like that. That's what we used to do. We used to have to go in and clean the rooms that they make the product in. So we were going in there looking like you watching TV shows where there's like something breaks out, like an outbreak, and you got to go in there fully masked up with the hazmat suit and the mask.
Absolutely not. There's something in my suit. You're not gonna believe something in my suit. Ira, there's something in my suit. It's impossible. It is sealed.
That's what we had to do. Hairnets, masks, all type of stuff. I got in trouble because I didn't have enough equipment on going into a particular room and stuff. That's what we were doing. Even in that job, if I were to take the average woman who does the same type of work in her mind at home because she's like, well, I clean too, it ain't no different. If I were to take you to the job that I was doing, which is cleaning just like you, but it ain't just like you wouldn't last an hour.
Nope.
Wow.
I think that the issue is coming from the opposite side. We don't see what it's like to be the other person and to see how hard it is for a woman to go work, come home, then clean, and she don't rest until she go to sleep that night, and then you expect her to give you some nookie. We also don't see it from the other side, whereas yes, I work 12 hours, but the type of work I do is very different than your type of work. The type of physical labor intensive work that we do, there's a reason that we are built like we are built, because that's the type of work that we do. There's a good reason why, no matter how good the job pays, there's a reason why 50% of people driving UPS trucks are not women. There's a reason why 50% of people who drive 18-wheelers are not women. But all of those jobs pay really good money. So what happened? You feel me? On both sides, we are discounting what the other person does. Yep. We were put together like we are for a reason.
Yes.
And we need to stop beating our chest like,
I'm doing better than you. I do more than you. Like,
once again, this is the second video. The second video. Why are we still in high school? Why? We need to grow up. Yep. All of this posturing, I do more than you, I do better than you. We each have roles that we are expected to fulfill most of the time. And if you're one of those people that lays outside of those systems, that's all good. I'm not talking to you. Yep. It's all good. You can do your own thing. You can do your other thing. But I'm talking about people who live these. This is the type of setup that we want, because that's part of the reason why we're arguing, because we can't get what we want.
Seriously?
Yeah. So this is the setup.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
This is the setup that we want, but yet we're spending all our time talking about how the other person don't do nothing. Like, come on.
Stop it.
All right, you had an idea. Go ahead before you lose it. Go ahead. Go.
No, you just reminded me of the season of Married at First Sight that we're watching right now.
Yes.
And how old girl is just delusional because she's not getting what she wants. Like she's making up this whole thing.
Right. Oh gosh.
Because she's not getting what she wants.
Isn't she?
I don't know. We have to figure out a way for us to be able to.
We can do it, but we just can't put any of the actual footage on the show, which sucks because y'all being able to see what we talking about in real time is different. It's different.
Yes. Seeing this stuff play out in real life is just. Anyway, if you guys are still here and you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and continue watching.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, we done.